see. Okay, y'all. So hopefully y'all can hear me this time. Okay, Ricky says it's working, so hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm gonna let y'all come on in. Hi, Naraya Boo. Jasmine's not gonna be cooperative because she's on YouTube right now in the corner. So you won't hear too much from her. Oh, you waving? You say hi? You say hi? Yeah, you say hi. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so we chatting today. It's Self-Care Thursday. As I was saying in the video, well, trying to say when I went live the first time, I'm going to be doing 3 straight weeks of videos, like recording it on YouTube. And then the 4th week, I'm taking a break from recording because it's about my self-care too. And I'll probably go live like I am here. Hi, Mary. Probably go live like I am right now and just talk about whatever's on my mind. So this week, if I would have recorded, the topic would have been cut it. Now, I be thinking of stuff just off the dome, okay? It don't be making no sense. But I was cutting the top of Jiren's like popsicle, and a whole entire topic, like page and a half worth of notes, just popped up right then. It must have been Dolores. But yeah, so we talking about our boundaries and how we feel about cutting folks off today. So before we get started, let's check in. How y'all doing? How y'all week been? Mine has been interesting. This one got 2 more teeth, and she is using them. Yes, you are. Jiren's still, working on this potty training. So that's been great. And these springtime allergies are not a game to be played with. I've been swollen all week. That's why I'm not recording, because that medicine didn't kick in until today. Like, I've been taking it every day, and I feel like today was the first day I felt some type of decent. But yeah, how y'all doing? Let me know in the comments how this week is going. And, are your edges flourishing? Because, honey, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Can't nobody be snatching our edges out here, sis. Right. Nobody gonna snatch our edges out here. Living life like it's golden. Well. Yes, my good sis got wigs to cover them edges. If you need some time from the girl and child, Fab Girl Extensions. I got it in. Don't it look like it's mine? Uh-huh. Big purr. Let's see if I can tag it in the comments. Probably not. What you plan to do with the comb? Oh, I got it. Gigi said, hey, Pooh. Girl, everybody know who installed it. Don't front, because every time I post my hair, I tag. Don't do it out here. And you supposed to be checking in, telling me how the week is going. You ain't supposed to be acting funny, Taya. See, don't get on the live and show up. And that's on Mary. Gigi said, "You're prettiest girl in the whole world." Say, "Yes, I am." Yeah, she's like traumatized because as you see, her hair is done. I had to braid her hair this morning. And no cooperation whatsoever. None. She screamed bloody murder. Ricky was trying to play with her to get her mind off of it. It was just, I had given her breaks and stuff. She just showed out. But now she want to play with the comb. She saw the comb earlier and that just took her soul. But now she wants to play. So that's the thing we dealing with right now. Thank you. That's so nice of you. So while I'm waiting for y'all to respond, Jillian cooperated. So shout out to my bro. Yeah, so the topic for today is cut it. So what are y'all policies on cutting people off? Do people get cut off the rip? Like as soon as they cross a line of any sort, do they get cut off? Like, are you the one that gives 1,012 chances? Are you the one that be like, okay, I'm gonna give you 1, 2, maybe 3, but at 400 you got to kick it? Let me know. I just explained, Mom. We talking about our policies on cutting people off. Do people get cut off rip soon as they commit an error? Do people get 1,000 chances with you? Do people get, 1, maybe 2, but 3? That's it. Bob. So you saying this one and done? That's what you saying? It's one and done for you, Jasmine? I feel that. I feel it. I'm not gonna lie. So is it one and done regardless? Like, is it one and done regardless of the scale of disrespect, or is it just like anything that crosses any line I've created, that's it? Well, that's a fact, Mom. That's a fact. Now, what I'm gonna say on the matter, I used to be terrible, okay? Like, terrible. Like, if you sneezed in the room with me, it was curtains. Like, obviously that's an extreme example, but it was a curtain, because I had that motto, like, I can only trust people as far as I can throw them, and some people I can't even, there's no moving them. Take that how you take it. But I have come to the understanding of like what boundaries are, because like I don't think, like especially high school and college, I don't really think I had like a sense of what boundaries actually were. So it's like anything that made me or my emotions flare in the negative, it had to be dealt with like immediately, and I was just sniffing folks. Amel, if I feel it's disrespect, oh well, and that's on period. That's what you said. She said what she said. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I used to be the type, like, if anything that you did caused me to have any type of negative emotion, you had to go. Period. And then I had to come to the understanding, like, people having different opinions than you does not mean that they have to be thrown in the garbage. Okay. So that was something I had to come to. And I also didn't understand boundaries, like I said before. So now that I have an understanding of boundaries, I have made the choice, like if somebody crosses this kind of a boundary, it's curtains. As my mother said, a good example of what's gonna get you cut off, messing with my kids. Okay? So automatic failure, sis. Automatic. Period. My husband, also off limits. But he nicer than me. So some of y'all anyway. Hey Shirley. But I feel like, since getting my certification and everything, I've come to a different understanding of people and having to learn like why people move the way they move and how I should move in regard to people who may not be as emotionally intelligent as I have grown to be, because I was not always emotionally intelligent, okay? Not at all. So what I came to understanding was, as a healthy adult, I should be able to quantify cutting somebody off like on a situational basis. So as I gave the example, a boundary that cannot be crossed is my children. But I make that clear. That's not a boundary to cross. But another example would be like if I tell you something that's like a little bit personal or whatever, and you go tell somebody else and I find out that you told them. That's a boundary that you crossed. I might not cut you off for that, but now I have to operate differently with you. So, as DMX said, rest in peace, as DMX said, you trust them as like what they are. You don't have time to be out here not trusting nobody. So, if somebody quacking like a duck, trust that they're gonna be a duck and they want some bread. You ain't got time to be like, oh my goodness, they showed me that they was a duck when they said that they was a human and I'm just upset. Oh my God, I can't believe them, rah, rah, rah. Anybody, we don't have time. We don't have time. And I know, some older people gonna be like, well, Jesus said, turn the other cheek. So that's something that I've been told. Let's apply it to the church and the church folks, okay? Church folks be the first one to do you funky, okay? Like they don't know Jesus as their Lord and Savior. But applying that, there's a way to do ministry with people who have boundary issues. There's a way to do ministry and do it effectively and not deal with people personally, because everybody ain't got to be your friend. Sugar bear. I know myself, like, as I grew and got more involved in church, I had, like, the misconception that, like, everybody that I do ministry with, I have to be some type of friends with, or I can't do ministry right. But, again, that was a lack of emotional intelligence, because I can minister alongside you, but we don't have to hang out. Granted, it'd be nice. Fellowship is nice, but not everybody is in the space to be fellowshipping with everybody. And that's on Big Prayer. Let's see what Gigi said. You can forgive, but they don't have to operate in the same as they had pre-transgression. Yes. Yeah, forgiveness is required, but relationship is not. You forgive, but you don't forget. So I might be all right. Like, okay, you crossed that boundary. We had a conversation, which is important, having a conversation. That's something I did not like to do, is have conversations, because I'm just like, you disrespected me. You ought to know that you disrespected me, and we done. That's it. But I had to learn that conversations are sometimes necessary, because just because you have a boundary, if you haven't spoken it to that person, how do they know that they crossed it? Now, if conversation has already occurred, and they cross a boundary, then this is a different scenario, and then you have to decide how to protect your peace at that point. Boundaries are definitely good to have. I had to start getting boundaries. People will go too far if you don't. That's a fact, Shirley. You give somebody an inch, they take a whole country mile out here. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? But yeah, I had to learn, I got to sit down and have, if the relationship was of worth. Because, for example, like if a coworker crosses a boundary of mine, we just get paid by the same employer. I don't have, that's not necessary. But if it was a relationship of value and you cross the boundary of mine, at that point, I'll be like, okay, let's have a conversation. And I found that in a lot of conversations that I had over the years, a lot of times there was miscommunication and there wasn't understanding of a boundary, especially with relationships that have been long term. Like, for example, me and my sisters, we obviously have had a relationship since we've been alive. But as we got older, we had boundaries that were unspoken. It was just in our maturing that we developed these boundaries. But until you say, bro, this is my boundary, you crossing it. And that conversation, that sometimes has to keep happening within a relationship. Because sometimes boundaries evolve, sometimes boundaries lessen, depending on what's going on. Well, I haven't learned that part yet. Well, Jasmine, we learning today, okay? Because everybody don't got to get cut off, sis. Because we can't be on an island by ourselves, okay? Because let's be real, every human being, some way, shape, or form, that you have a relationship with gonna hurt your feelings at some point. And I'm not saying that to be negative. It's just because, like I stated, sometimes there's miscommunication. People evolve, people change, boundaries change. Something might tap your nerve because it's Saturday and you on your period, but there's Sunday when you off your period, that same thing wouldn't have bothered you. But I was just getting ready to say it also depends on the relationship. Yep, it totally depends on the relationship. And since we on that, let's talk about friends, child, because a lot of y'all got associates and y'all mad with how y'all associates acting, but they was never your friend in the first place. Maybe I won't get on that today. Maybe not. Maybe another day. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, you have to understand what the relationship is. So I gave the example of my coworker. If I know we just friendly because we work here, but we ain't got nothing outside of that, yeah, I might be upset with something that you did, but the relevance of it on my day-to-day life. But somebody I've been friends with for years that know me, know my kids, know what the inside of my house look like, all that, I'm going to have a bigger problem. And we're going to have different conversation at that point. Joanne, don't laugh at me. But yeah, that's the big thing that I've noticed, especially with people in my age range. We don't know the difference between a friend and an associate, hun. And we got some learning to do. Ain't that right, Justin Wesson? We got to learn the difference because one, it'll save you some trouble. Because if I understand that you're an associate of mine, then one, my expectations of you are less. Two, I'm not going to be telling you my business or anything that's going to cause me to be upset. Because if we just associates, you don't owe me any loyalty. So I could be telling you my business and you telling your boyfriend, your sister, cousin, boo-boo and them. And it's nothing really wrong. I mean, everybody got their own ethical code. There ain't nothing really wrong with that because you was never my friend. You never stated that you was my friend. So why is it that big of a deal? That's on me. So first we got to determine if people is really friends. And you should know who your friend and who is not. If we don't, we can talk about it. Message me. I can explain the definition of a friend if we have to go there. Not trying to be funny. Being serious. Justin, thank you. But yeah, I got off topic. So, in the context of ministry, it is possible to do ministry with people who have crossed boundaries. Again, conversation is necessary. They need to know that they crossed the boundary because maybe they don't. After they know they crossed the boundary, I mean, if we forgiven and whatnot, that's great. And like my mom said, relationships do not have to be restored after forgiveness for a transgression. It don't have to be. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. That doesn't mean that we beefing now. That doesn't mean like we can't be in the same room. Don't mean none of that. And that also comes with maturity, because if you're not able to worship the Lord amongst people, just because, that's your problem, okay? Because one thing I ain't ever gonna do, I did before. I used to sit in church when I was like a teenager, and if there was somebody there that I didn't like, I would not be able to participate in the service, which is hectic, because it's like, why are you paying that person that much attention? That was crazy. So, the Lord did a good work. A good work. I have to relearn how to build a friendship. I have no friends. I shut down when my marriage ended. I think it came across as funny acting. My friends disappeared. You know what, Shirley? I can get with that. You know, when I had some marital issues, I did recede from people, and it does look like funny acting, but sometimes it's just a matter of like us not being able to communicate our feelings on the matter and choosing not to take it out on folks. But then it's like, it's also important to communicate that, like, hey, you know, I'm dealing with some stuff right now. We can't really be on it like we was, because I just need a minute. And then if they are your friend, at that point, they should be like, okay, no, I understand that. You know, I'm praying, I'm covering you. I'm going to keep checking in to see when that changes. But that requires communication back and forth. So, no, I definitely understand that. No, that's why I be at the crib. See, Jillian, no, because no, hermit. Stop being a hermit. You need to go to church. Hey, cat. It's Cat. Say hi, Cat. No. I needed that one. Yes, honey, because I'm out here just trying to thrive. We out here gonna have a whole girl summer, child. We not doing it. I know everybody on their hot girl summer, but you can be a hot girl and be whole, and that make you a whole tamale. Tamale. Say tamale. She want these rubber bands that I used to do her hair, and I'm trying not to give them to her, but I'm gonna have to give them to her because she ain't gonna cooperate. Not even close. But yeah, I feel like that what I just brought up is a whole other topic. I just got 2 more topics altogether. We need to figure out who associates are versus friends. That's one whole topic over here. Second one is figuring out how to just, you know, coexist with people. Because it's like, if we was designed to be friends with everybody, do you think like all these things would be going down? We ain't designed to be friends with everybody. Some people you think you connect with and you just don't, and that's fine. You're not supposed to have 1,000 friends. But we should be mature in deciding, you know, whether or not the boundary they crossed is so egregious that they need to stay out of our way. And if that's the case, but I don't know. I ain't gonna cop that. Comment on that. Yeah. Like, it's people that I do ministry with that I get along very well with at church. I don't have no problem with them, but we ain't going out to dinner. The ones that I would go out to dinner with know who they are, but I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have an issue with anybody to the point where I can't do ministry, because for one, like, the point of going to church is relationship with Jesus Christ. So, making friends at church, why are we doing it? I mean, it's a plus, but are we going to look for friends? Are we going to... Why are you going to church? Here. People don't like when you know how to do that. They don't because they don't know how to do it. Because if they knew how to do it, they wouldn't have no issues. Trying to know I'm extra, I can't. I grew up believing that everyone in church should be friends. When I got older, that was definitely not right. Yeah, it's not. No. I've always had about one friend in church, and child, we was related. Cause as I told y'all, I didn't like. I was not personable at all growing up. I know y'all probably see me now. I'll be like, oh wow, what you mean you wasn't personable? My family on this live can tell you, I was not the one, the two or the three. Cause child, I gave it up. Like I ain't speak to nobody. Get out my face. If I ain't come to you asking for conversation, don't come to me asking for no conversation. And that's my big prayer. But the Lord has, as I said, He has done His work. Hi, Angel. Thanks for joining. But I want to know. Let's talk about some scenarios. So if y'all comfortable, let's talk about scenarios where you feel, maybe like a boundary is crossed, and cutting them off isn't really necessary. Let's talk about that if you're comfortable. If you're not, let me know. We can jump on something else. You was me mugging like crazy at first. I'm like, See, don't do me. Don't. I was, because I did not want to give off the impression that we was gonna be talking. Okay? Small talk to this day, like, gives me anxiety. Like, these masks that we have to wear is saving lives, because small talk, child, I don't know why it was created, because I cannot. I just can't. Can't do it. No. So I used to give that face, like, I don't want you to think we're going to talk. I don't want you to think that the conversation's going to be good. I don't want you to even think that I want to talk. I don't even want to look at you so you think that we are. Are we going to church for friends and to be like they're going to give God glory? That's on Mary-headed little lamb cat. Because that's the problem. That's why half of us ain't saved right now. Because we going to church to make friends and get husbands and wives and stuff out here. But we ain't going for Jesus. And who church is it? Period. So you got me worked up, cat. Yeah, you always been like that. You know what? The Lord is working, okay? He working, because a year ago, child, you wouldn't catch me on live for nobody business. Because to me, that was talking too. I was ridiculous. I was ridiculous. LOL, go the other way. Yes, cat, because, child. Yeah, y'all was supposed to be giving me scenarios. Y'all done got me worked up. That wasn't the point. That wasn't the point. You worked up? You want to say hi? You say hi to the people? No. Yeah, hi. Say hi, I'm Justin. I'm Justin Riley. And honestly, I think it was childbirth that got me together, because it's like, since I don't have my kids, like, I feel like I just be pleasant. I be crying about stuff. The Lord. But He knew, because I did not. I was out here thinking I was going to be somebody rich auntie. I was not trying to have nobody kids. Nobody kids. The idea of pregnancy was like, child, please. Who said? And then He hit me with 2 of them. Boop, boop. Just punched me right in my face. Yeah, 2 of y'all. 2. And they little girls. That was what took me out. I was like, dang, okay, I'm pregnant, I'm hoping it's a boy, because, I wanted to be that mom at football games. I wanted to be rough. Nope. Gave me 2 little dramatic, emotional female children that I have to do cuddles and just love on and do what they want to do. But it helped me. It allowed me to get to points. And it gave me new perspective on things. Because I think, like, if I would have got, like, my certification prior to kids, It would have been curtains. I didn't take it from you. I didn't take it. UCB? That's the issue, UCB? You see yourself on the camera? Yes, he did have to make me more dramatic. That is a whole fact because I've always been methodical. Like, if it doesn't make sense, I'm not doing it. I don't deal well with stupid. I don't deal well with stupid people or dumb decisions. Like, I just don't. And that was half the reason people got cut off. Like, if you say something dumb, you're gonna know that it was dumb immediately because it doesn't compute. So he had to like really get me to a point where I could understand, like, feeling the emotions first before I could help somebody else make their emotions logical. Because, but we not about to get RB and how I used to do. We not gonna do it. We not gonna do it. You're not gonna do me. Okay, I'm not taking it. You drop that. You drop it. You just want to look at the camera and watch the comments go. Yeah, I think she is sleepy, Mom. And she be doing the most for no reason. But I definitely will say, like, Jaren, I was a little bit dramatic, but like with Justin, yeah, he hit me with the feels, just like right in the face. Cause after having her, I just want to give people hugs and stuff. Child, you know I don't touch nobody. I'm wanting to give hugs out. I'm wanting to cry when people cry. Now that was the worst part about me. I was never prepared for somebody to cry. Even if I knew the situation, like you could tell me that your dog died, and I still would not be prepared for you to cry. I'd be like, But after having children, people cry, we cry with them. I'd be like, oh my God, we gonna cry together because that's so terrible. Like, kids, them, they change your life, but don't have them till you're ready. That's what they cry. Because this is what you get. What about them hypocritical friends? Though they preach to you about one thing, but behind that door, they're a whole party. Girl, that's how they do. A lot of it, though, I'll play devil's advocate. Some situations, those people want you to do better than they're doing because that they know they can't change that behavior for themselves. So they're like, okay, well, if I'm their friend, maybe I should help them do better. That's some scenarios. Some people is trying to sneak and do the most. They just want you to be boring and upset with your life. So it's both ways. So I guess it's about determining which way you would consider them friends behaving. But that go for church folks too. Especially these older saints who be talking about, all y'all kids, all y'all do is party, I need to get right with God. And then they be drinking their 40s and smoking blacks on their porch every night with their straight backs. Ain't nobody got the time. Justin, we talking to the people. But how do you feel? Do you feel like they want the best for you, or do you feel as though they just don't want you to participate? That's the better question. Right, like, come on now. My alcoholics out here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And child, that was me. I used to tell my sister, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I used to get crunk. Like, I used to partying, drinking. I never smoked or anything, but partying and drinking, that was my thing. And I used to try to, like, be mad, like, if my sisters, like, was trying to party or something. I used to try to be mad. Now, granted, in that scenario, I wanted them to do better, but I just didn't want to do better. So, but that was me. I was steady telling people, like, you know, you gotta do better. You gotta live with the Lord. But So yeah, do you feel like the hypocritical friends you referring to? Do you feel as though they trying to do it to help you, or and they just can't get their life right, or do you think they have malicious intent by telling you? I can't really tell at this point. I feel like it's some sort of resentment because I didn't necessarily choose the same path they went down. Okay, I see what that. Okay, and that's very well true. But I feel like how can I put this? Even in that though, like they might be jealous, but if they're encouraging you to do better, I think you should take that at face value. Like they encouraging you to do better. Like even though they're not doing better, at least they trying to tell you something. Cause God will use anybody to get you right. He'll use a rock, hit you upside your head. Come on, Susan. We about to be done, okay, Mama? We're gonna be done. Some people are just messy, miserable, and unhappy. Why are you crying for the camera? Why are you crying for the camera? Some people is just messy, miserable, and unhappy. Sometimes we think they are a friend, and the whole time they be trying to destroy you. I could write a book on this, Shirley. I could write a whole book, and it would be 300 pages long. They do. It's a whole lot of people that's just messy for mess sake, and misery loves company. They miserable and they want you to be miserable right with them, because hurt people hurt people, and if you don't get over that hurt, you're gonna just leave a trail of hurt people behind you. Because that's the thing I've been trying to in my journey to be more emotionally intelligent. I have been trying to understand why people do things that they do, not excusing that they've done it, but trying to figure out like what happened to you that you behave that way. Again, not excusing their behavior, there's still consequences to actions, but I just be trying to figure out like what happened that you acting like that, because like I said, hurt people, so something in you was hurt that you would think to hurt somebody else, because whole people don't go around hurting nobody. Do they? No, they don't. I say just pray for them and keep working on your right. Just pray for them and keep working on yourself. Yeah, that's a fact. She do. She don't want nothing. She want to get down. She want to get up. She want to get down. She want to get up. You want to get up? Okay. Don't start up. Don't start up. Don't start up. You chilling. That's what Justin do. She start crying. She want to get down. She want to get up. She want cup. She don't want cup. She want this. She don't want that. And then when she's done, she finds something that intrigues her, and this is where we get. But yeah, you know, I don't know who told me this, but when you pray for your enemies, they bother you less. Every time you pray, they become less bothersome. Try it. I promise you. Well, y'all, thanks for joining me on my TED Talk this week. So let me know, like message me or whatever if you have topics you want me to go over, or if you want want me to do this more often or however it is. But as of right now, the schedule is going to be like 3 weeks of videos of me doing my makeup with these topics, and then on the 4th week I'm going to do like a live like this. But thanks for y'all participation. I hope I was able to help somebody. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week and a good weekend, and let's make sure our edges is flourishing for our whole girl summer. Thank y'all.